everybody, JC here with another TNI toy review. And today's review is in association with MarvelousNews.com, your #1 news source for everything Marvel. And for today's review, I'm going to be taking a look at the new 1/4 scale Marvel Epic Deadpool figure in his X-Force costume from NECA Toys. Now this figure, it is a variant of the regular Deadpool figure they did in the red and black colors. It comes packaged in this window box. You've got the figure clearly displayed. I like on the front here how they've done the swords so they form an X, and then next to that you've got the Force for X-Force, and then you've got a word balloon that says Wham. Off to the side up here you've got the character's name. And then on the sides of the packaging, you have images of the figure showing off the various accessories. And then on the back of the packaging, you just have another image of the actual figure. All right, let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside the packaging along with the other contents. Now, first of all, let me just say a big thanks to the folks at NECA Toys for sending me this figure so I could review it for you guys. Okay, so this figure, as I mentioned before, is basically just a variant or a repaint of the original Deadpool figure they did, only you've got the X-Force colors with the gray and the black. But accessory-wise, it's exactly the same, and from what I can tell, sculpting-wise, it is the same as well. Now, I don't have the original Deadpool figure to give you an actual comparison, but from everything I've seen, these figures are the same other than the paint applications on them. That being said, this is a really nice-looking figure with a lot of sculpting detail on it. NECA did a really nice job with this one. From the mask, you've got this line work that's sculpted on here, and you even have like little tabs so it looks like an actual mask. I like the wrinkles around the eyes. Now this one has red, he's got the red eyes. And then I like these little lines that they've sculpted throughout the gray portions of the costume to give it added texture. That looks really good. This harness piece for the swords is a separate piece, as well as this belt here, and I like how they've sculpted the pouches on the belt and everything with the line work so it looks like actual leather. You've got the Deadpool belt buckle. You've got nice detailing down here on the hands. So he's got the little Deadpool symbols on the front of his hands here, and then some plating on the gloves. You've got some metallic silver. And then even on the underside of the hands, like with these, you've got some nice detailing, and you can see like even his fingernails. These straps are actually sculpted on, these ones around his wrist, on both hands. He's got a working gun holster. The gun actually does come out, which is nice. And I'll go over all the accessories in a little more detail in just a minute here. You got some like metal plating here on this holster, so that looks really good, mixed with the black plastic. And then he's got black down here on his legs with the pouches again on this holster. He's got the little straps that kind of stick out the back here. And then down here, these straps are actually sculpted on the figure. Though you've got the little strap that kind of sticks out, and that's actually a rubber piece. And then he's got the shin guards. And even on the feet, you've got pretty nice detailing with line work and these little discs around his ankle. And then he's even got on the bottom of his feet, like with the original figure, you've got snap on the one foot and an exclamation mark on the other foot. Okay, and when it comes to accessories, again, this figure is chocked with a lot of them, just like the original figure. So you get the sai, which you can actually slide on the back of his sheath here, so they've given you a place to store that. And nice detailing. You've got the little Deadpool symbol on the end of the handle, and then you've got some wrappings here on the handle, which are done with a cream type color, and then the rest of the sai is done with a metallic silver, so it looks like it's actual metal. It is a pretty hard plastic and pretty pointy there at the tip. And then he's got the sword sheaths, which you can actually remove off the harness piece. It just attaches with some pegs, and these are done with just plastic. And then you've got the swords, which are removable. And again, pretty nice detailing on these. You've got some Japanese writing on the blade, and you've got some line work sculpted in there. And then on the handles, you've got some black for the wrappings with some sculpting detail with that. And then again, you've got the Deadpool kind of symbols here on the top of the sword. And the two swords are pretty much exactly the same as far as sculpting and everything. And again, these are done with a pretty hard plastic, so I don't think you have to worry about them getting bent or anything like that. You don't want to bend them too much. They do have a little flexibility, but you could snap them, so just be careful. But overall, they seem to be fairly well made. Okay, and then besides the sai and the swords, you also get a number of other weapons. So you get the knife, which I told you about before, and you've got pretty nice detailing on this with the ridges on the blade. You've got the metallic silver. And then on the handle, it's just black, and then you've got a little more silver here down at the bottom. So again, pretty nice detailing. And with the knife, you've got the working sheath like I showed you before. Same with the gun, you've got the working holster, and this is done with just a dark gray plastic, and you've got some metallic silver here at the top and here on the handle. and little tabs here, so nice detailing again with this. And then besides that, you also get this machine gun, and I like the detailing on this. You've got the magazine that's sculpted on the side here, and then you also have the double magazine that you can actually remove from the gun. You've got some bullets that you can see there, so I like that detailing. And then he's got the grenade launcher here, and then he's got the scope up top here. You've got a little bit lighter color here on the scope, and the rest of the gun is done with a metallic gun type gray. And even here, I like on this handle, you can see some wear, so it looks like it's actual metal. So again, just overall really nice sculpting detail with this weapon. And then finally, he comes with the second smaller machine gun. Sorry, I'm not up on my guns, so I don't know the official names for these weapons. But with this one, again, you've got that kind of same kind of gun gray metal, and you got some wear here on the handle, so it looks like metal. You've got a little Deadpool symbol painted on there, so that's nice. And then you've got this little tab here on the back. Same on this side, you've got another Deadpool symbol. Looks like it's painted on there. That one's a little bit bigger on this side. The magazine on this weapon is not removable though. And then finally, you get multiple pairs of hands with this figure. So you get this pair that has the trigger finger sticking out. So this is for holding things like the pistol and the machine guns. And then you get a normal pair of grip hands that doesn't have the trigger finger. And then you get this pair of hands where the right hand is a grip type hand, and then the left hand, and he's wearing a pair of brass knuckles that say Deadpool, and this is the same we saw with the regular version that they released. And then finally you get this extra grip type hand. This hand seems a little repetitive to me. It seems almost identical to this one, so I don't know why they gave you two of the pretty much same hand, but as it is, you do get that extra right hand. And switching out the hands on the figure is easy. You just pull off the hand you want to replace, and you got the little peg on the hand and the hole in the arm, and then you just plug in the hand you want to replace it with, and it should push in there pretty easily, and it'll fit nice and tight. And again, he'll hold the weapons in any of the grip hands that he comes with, but the ones with the trigger fingers for the weapons, for the pistol and machine guns, are the better hands to use. And then the ones without the trigger fingers, better for things like the swords and the knife and everything. Now the knife does fit a little bit loose, but you can still get it in there pretty good. Okay, and this figure stands just about 18 inches, maybe a little bit more, I guess actually closer to 18¼ inches tall. And the figure is definitely heavy, so I always recommend caution with these 18-inch figures that, you know, if you're going to put them on a high shelf, you know, make sure there's nothing underneath it, that if it did fall off, that it would hit and break. The figure itself is pretty durable, so I don't think you have to worry about it breaking. Maybe if it caught these swords, which are done with just plastic, they could snap off. But overall, I think it would stand any significant damage if it fell off the shelf. But again, it's very heavy, so anything it hit, it could definitely hurt. And just to give you a size comparison, here's a comparison with my NECA 18-inch Captain America Avengers figure, and these two are pretty close to the same height. Okay, so articulation on this figure, you can turn the head to the left and to the right. He really can't look down because of this collar that he's wearing, and then he can look back about that much. You can also pivot the head to the left and the right a bit. Arms attached with your standard ball hinge joint there at the shoulder, so he can get his arm out good. He's got good rotation there at the shoulder. He's got a bicep swivel. He's got a double hinged elbow, so he can bend his elbow about that much. He's got rotation at the wrist and then hinges on the hand, so good up and down movement there. He's got an ab crunch type joint, so he can crunch down about that much. He can only look back about that much though, so not much back movement there. And then he does have a waist swivel. Now just be wary that if you rotate at the waist, you might hit those sword sheaths and knock them off. They do come off fairly easy. They just attach with little pegs. So again, just be wary of that. And then with the legs, he can do the splits about that much. Now if you have the holster, if you have the gun in the holster on this leg, you can't get it out as much. But without the gun, he can do the splits pretty good. He doesn't have a whole lot of forward movement with this one. He can only get his leg forward about that much, and then you can do the leg back about that much. And you do have a thigh swivel very high. It's you don't get a lot of rotation there, but you do get a little bit, basically around that ball joint, so you do get a little bit of movement. Not a true thigh swivel on the leg, but again, you do get some rotation up high there. And then you got a double hinged knee, so good bending on the knee. And then with the feet, you have up and down movement with the hinges, and you do have ankle pivot, and you do also have toe articulation, so up and down movement with the toe, and then no peg holes on the bottom of the feet. not that you need it with this size figure. Okay, so that's my review. So overall, if you have the original Deadpool figure, you know what to expect with this one. Really no difference as far as sculpting or accessories or anything. The paint applications are really the only difference, and if you're a fan of Deadpool and his X-Force costume, I think this is one you'll definitely want to check out. This is a really nice figure. I think NECA's done a great job with the sculpting detail. They've given you a lot of cool accessories, and even articulation for this size of figure I think is pretty good. My only minor complaints, the sword sheath is very easy to knock off, so that can be a little annoying at times, and then also just because the figure is so heavy, it would be nice if they included figure stands with these things, just so it would, you know, you could stabilize it a little bit better on your shelf. But overall, again, I think this is a really nice figure, and if you're a fan of Deadpool, especially in the X-Force costume, I think you'll definitely want to check this out. Now, this is available now. You can get it at places like Big Bad Toy Store. We'll have a full image gallery up at marvelousnews.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. As always, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. Also, please hit that subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it. You can also follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. I have links to those in the video description as well. And until next time, guys, I will catch you later.